It is a little teeny tiny unit. Look at this thing. Oh man. From above, it's really noticeably smaller. All right, everyone, welcome back to my next video. Obviously, I've got another Bluetti product, and I'm going to do an unboxing and a review. It's going into the holiday season. Most big manufacturers are putting out their new models. Bluetti likes to send me their new ones. So this holiday season, going into Christmas 2023, they have 4 new models, and this is the smallest of it. So when I got this, and I went and picked it up, I picked it up and I said, what is in here? This is way too light to be a power station. And man, it is remarkably light. I mean, I can just throw it around. It's the AC2A. And what I have here is the old Bluetti EB3A. So they're kind of doing a switch over from the EB line to the AC line. And I don't see a consistency in exactly what you get in the AC line. They're all a similar look, or have been so far. We'll see here now. So it's kind of a little brother to the EB3A. When they first sent me the specs for these, I wrote them back and said, you're not going to beat the EB3A. It's the best power station on the market for its size, period. They said, well, it's got new and better features. So we'll see. I'm reluctant. I'm skeptical. I really am. I think the EB3A is just a fantastic piece of equipment. It's hard for me to imagine that this will top it. So to my mind, the question here is going to be price. And I don't know the prices yet. It's too early. They're not releasing the prices. They may not even know them. But it's going into Christmas, so I do know that as an introduction and going into Christmas, there's going to be a lot of sales. So maybe it'll be a really good price. The AC2A is kind of small. It's got a 204 watt-hour battery, which is real small, and a 300 watt inverter, which again is pretty small. I'm not exactly sure what they're going for here. Right off the box, you got all the cables. This is the power cord to plug it into the wall. And this is the MC4 connector to connect power by solar. It doesn't look like they give you one to connect to the cigarette lighter plug. However, this is an XT60, so it would be no problem to find an XT60 to cigarette lighter plug if you want to do that. And one of the great things about these things are so small. When you do drive, it's just really easy to carry one up and put it in your front seat with you and charge while you're driving. And that's one of their big pluses. And one of the things that Bluetti is doing in their entire lineup is they've eliminated the power brick. They've moved that brick inside the unit, which I think is really good. So again, no brick, just the power cord. This is a universal standard power cord. You can buy it, you lose this, you can buy it anywhere. This also, EMC4 to XT60 is very common. You can buy them off Amazon all day. I think common connections is really important, and that's one of the best things about Bluetti is they keep it simple. And here's the little unit. Ta-da! It is a little teeny tiny unit. Look at this thing. Oh man. From above, it's really noticeably smaller than the EB3A. The EB3A is 286 watts with a 600 watt inverter. And this is a 204 watt hour battery with a 300 watt inverter, so substantially less. The battery is about 80 watt hours less, and the size is really much smaller. Weight wise, much lighter. If you are looking for the smallest and lightest, this is probably going to be it with 200 watt hours. Let me put it on top here. You can see that. It's really simple and basic. But again, it's smaller. I would like it to be cheaper. So when it comes to which one to get, I'd buy them strictly on price. Whichever one was on sale, whichever one cost less. If you just absolutely cannot afford the inch or two in length and height that this is going to give you, then, and weight, if hauling one of these around is any difficulty for you at all, then man, this one is light. One of the things they've done is this has on the top here, a 15 watt wireless charging for your smartphone. So you just lay your smartphone on here and it just automatically starts charging at 15 watts, which is good. That's gone. That seems to be not gone on most of the new units they're putting out, and I don't understand that. That's one of the features that I really loved most about Bluetti. So if this will fit your needs, I love the size, the weight. It's got a 100 watt USB, which is just standard, fast USB-C, one cigarette lighter port. It's really, really standard. And when you see them all lined up in the table, and as soon as I have them all, I'll do a video with that of all of them. The looks are very, very similar now. This has become a common look. So when I picked them up, yeah, there's just no question. This feels like it's about half the weight. That's what they're selling here, is incredibly, incredibly light and small, compact, and portable. They will both receive 200 watts of solar, which for that size of a battery, that's plenty. You know, there isn't really much to say. I think it'll work perfectly. Every Bluetti I've ever bought worked perfectly. They're over in Las Vegas. They have an office in Las Vegas. You can go to the office. You can talk to someone, get help there. A lot of reasons I love Bluetti. And we'll just have to wait and see on the price. Between the two of them, I'd buy on price. If you got this cheap enough, you needed the lightweight, that'd be the one. But of course, this has a 600 watt inverter and another 80 watt hours of battery. So, pluses and minuses. I'll take this and use it. I love the size. All right, I'll use it for a while, see how everything works copacetic. I'll be back just like that. Welcome back. So I've had time to play with the AC2A. I've done some tests on it, and I'm ready to give you my final thoughts on whether you should buy it. Now, the assumption here is that you need a small power station, because if you need a bigger power station, this isn't it. So don't even make any kind of comparison. This is 204 amp hours, and that's not a lot of amp hours. So if you want to run a fridge, this won't do it. This will not run a fridge. It's just too small. You need I think you start at 700 watt hours is the absolute minimum, and that isn't really adequate. You need 1,000 watt hours to run a fridge, and you need a couple hundred watts of solar to come in and replenish the battery once it's done. To my mind, this is the main competitor to the Bluetti EB3A. In fact, as I told you, when they contacted me about the AC2A and this one, the small one, and I looked at the specs for it, I said, why did you make this? I wrote them back and they said, I don't know why you made this, because the specs are okay, but the EB3A is better. And that is now still my opinion. After testing it, if I had the choice today, I need a small power station. I'm in a van or a minivan, a car, SUV. I need a really teeny tiny power station, and I don't have a lot of money. I'd buy the EB3A. It's just that simple. The only advantage is if the price is lower, and if the price is good, then yeah, I would really think seriously about it. It's a great power station. When I tested this EB3A, I said this is the most remarkable, powerful, small power station I've ever seen. It has anything and everything you could want. The AC2A has a 300 watt inverter, which is going to be adequate for nearly all of you. But the EB3A has a 600 watt inverter, and that's just better. There are going to be things you can run on the EB3A that you can't run on the AC2A. So, and the EB is 268 watt hours of battery, and this is 204, a substantially less powerful and large battery in it. And so, and they both will accept 200 watt hours of solar coming in. The only real advantage I see to the AC2A is it's a little smaller and it's like 2 pounds lighter. So when I looked at these two, I would automatically buy the EB3A. I think it's the best, by far, best small power station you can buy. And it's Bluetti, it's LifePo 4. I'm just completely confident in their quality. So I'd buy it. Now, I'd consider the AC2A is great. It's just not as good. And if it were really cheap, I would give serious thought to it, but it'd have to be really, really cheap. I don't know what the price will be yet. The EB3A will go down as low as $209. How much cheaper can this be than $209? I don't know. But if it's $25 cheaper and you don't have that $25, then this is the one to buy. It's a perfectly fine unit. It's just not as good as this one, as the Bluetti EB3A. So that's basically my review, and my question is still, why did they make this? It doesn't seem to offer anything that you're not already getting in the EB3A. The EB3A was so exceptional that it's going to be really, really hard to beat. One small disadvantage is the AC2A does not have a wireless charger. So this has a 15-watt wireless charger. You put your phone down, it's charging at 15 watts. Really, really handy. This doesn't have that. They did away with it. So the inverter's smaller, the battery is smaller. I'm just left wondering, what is this here for? So that's my final review. And again, it will not run a fridge. I charged this all day with 200 watts of solar coming in. And then at night, when the sun went down, it stopped charging. It was at 100%. And I timed it, and it ran the fridge for 10 hours, which is surprisingly good for this small a battery. That's really surprisingly good. You know, when the sun sets at 4 or 5 o'clock in the winter, and you're don't going to get sun again until 6, 7 o'clock the next day. This isn't going to power it. And if the next day it's halfway cloudy, it won't even, it'll be using its battery instead of being fully charged during the day. So both of these are too small to run a fridge, and that's what most of you want. If you want to run a fridge, the absolute minimum I recommend is the Bluetti EB70, or what is also new and coming out, the AC70. They will both run a fridge, but again, it's marginal. And if you ever have a day, the battery won't last much beyond a day. And if you have it, you get a full sun, and you use up all your battery overnight, and then the next day it's cloudy, you'll never get it refilled, and the next day you'll be completely out of battery all night. So you really have to think about that if you want to run a fridge. I don't recommend anything less than 1,200 watt hours to run a fridge safely through the bad weather, through the short days of winter. So there you go. That's my final thoughts. It works just great, just like all Bluettis have. The specs are okay, but unless there's a compelling reason for price, buy the EB3A. It's still the small power station of choice. Okay, I hope you got something out of that was useful to you. If it was, like us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, pound away at that thing, teach it a lesson, and we'll see you later. Bye.